Welcome. My name is Dana Taylor, and I am on the advisory board of Spiritual Awakenings International. And I'm here to invite you to our exciting upcoming conference in June. It will be on Saturday and Sunday, June 7th and 8th. All weekend long, and it's going to be so wonderful. We're going to be having over 40 speakers from 12 different countries around the world. And right now, I'm going to give you a sneak preview of one of our favorite people at SAI, and that is Dr. Yvonne Kason. And she is president of SAI. And this year, Yvonne, you're going to be talking about something that's near and dear to your heart, right?
Yeah.
That's right, near-death experiences, but you're going to be sharing new discoveries in near-death experiences. I have to say this. Now, we have been hearing so many near-death experiences for a while. How can there be new discoveries about near-death experiences?
Well, thank you for asking, Dana, and I'm really looking forward to it. I want to mention I'm speaking on Saturday, June the 7th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's 3 p.m., I believe, or 2 p.m. Pacific Time on newest near-death experience discoveries. You know, last year at the conference, I had the great pleasure of interviewing Dr. Raymond Moody, who everybody knows is the pioneer who first coined that phrase, spiritually transformative experiences. And so most people and most researchers in the last basically 50 years have been using the criteria that Dr. Moody has outlined for near-death experiences, and they're true and they're valid. However, I've been researching near-death experiences for 40 years myself, and I've spoken with hundreds and hundreds of experiencers, but I've discovered more and more cases where people are having features during their near-death experiences that go beyond what Dr. Raymond Moody described. Like, for example, many people nowadays are known to be multiple near-death experiencers, having more than one near-death experience. I myself have had 5. Back when he created the terms, it was thought people only had 1. Now, that's just an example.
Seems like 1 would be enough, but no.
Well, what I think actually happens is that an awakening in consciousness happens when we have a near-death experience, and if we have other types of spiritual awakenings, whether it's a Kundalini awakening or a mystical experience, and that actually makes our consciousness more open to have other sorts of spiritually transformative experiences, including more near-death experiences. And I'm an example. I've had 5 near-death experiences, a Kundalini awakening, multiple mystical experiences. But I want to tell you a couple of the other interesting phenomenon that we're discovering that I'm going to be sharing about near-death experiences. And one of them that I think people will find fascinating is that time and space can bend during near-death experiences.
Yes. Right. I think I've experienced a bit of that myself, actually. Yes.
And, you know, I'll give you one example, and I'm going to be sharing many examples, that we have an idea that the near-death experience happens right when you're near death. Yes, that happens in most cases, but sometimes the near-death experience starts earlier, an hour earlier, 2 hours earlier, half an hour earlier, a few minutes earlier. So it's like on the other side, time doesn't line up exactly with us here on this side. And then there are other people who have the brush with death, let's call it. But actually, the spiritually transformative experience comes afterwards, days or weeks afterwards. And it can be a classic near-death experience. One classic case is Beverly Brodsky. She's now passed away, but her classic near-death experience that Ken Ring wrote about actually happened a few weeks after her motorcycle accident where she was almost killed. Yet it was a classic near-death experience. So I'm going to be sharing some of these paradoxes, and also some people experience time stand still during their near-death experience. That happened to me. Some people experience time loops, that they have a really long experience and then they come back and it's like, oh, down here, it's only like a second later. Anyway, that's just an example of some of the time paradoxes that I'm going to be sharing in my presentation.
Well, Yvonne, that sounds fascinating. The more you hear about this phenomena, the more there is to know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, we do invite you to come to the conference in June, once again, June 7th and 8th. And you go to spiritualconference.org. Registration is free, and so is so much more information about what's coming up. So, Yvonne, thank you for this little sneak peek. I'm excited to be working with you on this. It's going to be great.
And I really look forward to the conference too. Thanks, Dana. Bye, everyone.